Impact Theory Comics is a new independent publisher, and they're releasing their first comic, Neon Future. The comic is a collaboration with world-famous DJ and producer Steve Aoki, and it's written by the Eisner Award-winning writer of Justice from DC Comics, Jim Kruger. With artwork by Neil Edwards and Jeremy Rapek, the artwork and story are absolutely mind-blowing. If you like science fiction, you're going to love this comic, so head over to your local comic store or Comics Conspiracy, and get Neon Future issue number 1 on your pull list ASAP. And while you're at it, if you have Instagram, you can see some of the artwork for yourself. It's at IT Comics on Instagram. Hello and welcome to the Comic Conspiracy, episode 386 for the week of January 29th, 2019. My name is Ryan Higgins. Who's here there? The podcast with me this week as everyone's just standing in the back talking randomly, and I'm trying to mumble. Get that the fuck. I don't want that staring at me. I don't want that staggering moron to stare at me through this entire podcast, okay? See, if I just start the podcast, people actually sit down at the table. It's amazing.
So Ryan starts the podcast, and everybody else is wandering around the store trying to buy stuff.
Standing in the back looking at my Justice League box.
If you as the teacher wait for the class to be quiet, it'll never happen. You just start the lesson.
No, I have to be just I'm just sitting there, just being a jerk, just kind of my arms folded, just waiting. No, it's fine. Whenever you're ready. My name's Ryan Higgins. Who's here this week?
Brock Sager.
Donald Trump.
Oh, fuck. That's like the worst impression, too. Look, you got to get this. You got to get this picture out of my face, okay? There is a signed Donald Trump photo directly across the table from me.
You have to say it's 80s Trump.
It is 80s Trump. It is
looking slick.
Gold everywhere. Gold Donald Trump in a tux. Signed. Personalized, too. So he does have the worst signature on Earth, doesn't he?
Dude,
I have the worst signature on Earth. He has the second worst signature on Earth. Okay?
Unfortunately for our commander-in-chief, Ryan Higgins, I feel like any judgment that you pass is already kind of jaded slightly. So I've seen worse signatures.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty terrible.
It's a signature?
And Kevin.
Hey! There it is.
Who the picture's personalized to?
Blue? Mike? Scott's mic on? Yeah, I think it's on.
My mic is on.
Yeah, you're fine. We got some random crap to talk about. Toby was here. I really wanted him to stick around. But he took off because he has
I don't think he took his boxes.
Works to do. No, of course he didn't take his boxes. I'll yell at him again tomorrow.
He came in to buy all his stuff and didn't buy any stuff?
Well, no. He came in and didn't take his stuff and didn't give me any money for his stuff either. So
I want you guys to all tag Toby on Twitter and tell him that without him...
He'll reply in 7 months.
There will not be any funniest moments of the Comics Conspiracy in 2019 without Tobias.
See,
look, Brock's like, I'm funny. And then silence.
Toby's funny. Toby's Toby. He's a very busy man.
He is busy.
He's shooting a music video right now. That's the weirdest thing. Okay, let's move on to talk about some comic book stuff here. But I wanted to talk to him about Young Justice because no one else here has seen it. You haven't watched Young Justice, do you, Scott?
New stuff? No, I haven't seen any of the new stuff. The first couple seasons, yeah.
I've seen the Doom Patrol Go show that's in the middle of it.
We'll talk about that in a second. It's going to be a DC focused episode, huh? Aren't they all? But the minimal news this week, but a few DC related topics I want to talk about. First, Birds of Prey and the fantabulous emancipation of Harley Quinn, of one Harley Quinn, I believe is the official title.
Whatever. Margaret Robbie is Harley. I'm happy. I'm good. I'm sold. Done.
Anyone see the Birds of Prey? It's not even a teaser. It's like a
photo shoot teaser or something.
Yeah.
We're taking pictures with the costumes.
I mean, it's all the characters. You see all the characters for a split second. Someone did like a slowdown video where you get to see everyone. Kevin, did you see this?
I saw the still pictures, but I didn't see any slowed down video.
You saw the video then.
Oh, okay.
It's they're all shown for like a third of a second.
So Harley it looks like a cheerleader?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Kind of like raver cheerleader thing or whatever, yeah. Not Birds of Prey. It's going to be soon. What did they say, like February or March or next year or something? Yeah, it's really soon.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, they're cranking that thing out. So I guess it's happening. We're getting that Harley Quinn movie much quicker than I think.
Like I said,
I was anticipating.
Margot Robbie is Harley. I'm sold.
I don't think people here knew that you liked Harley Quinn.
Don't like her.
We ever talk about that before?
No, I don't think
He just likes Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn.
Oh, okay. 2 Harley Quinn statues came in this week, Brock, and neither of them were for you. What is wrong?
Saving money.
For the other Harley Quinn statues?
For kids to go to college.
No, that's definitely not. It's for the other Harley Quinn statues.
They're not going to go to college if we continue on the track we're going.
So are you looking forward to Birds of Prey?
Yeah, of course. I'm looking forward to all
I
these
know
things.
because it's a DC movie, but
yeah.
Let me ask it this way. Do you think that the general viewing audience will embrace Birds of Prey?
I think so. And I think Harley's popular enough. I think she'll get people back in. Especially with no Joker, no connection to Suicide Squad, really, and Margot Robbie kind of producing, and I don't know if she wrote it, but she's way more involved in this. I think people will get behind her for this.
They got Black Mask in it.
Yeah, so the general plot of the movie, and we kind of knew this a little bit, it's Harley and the Birds of Prey are trying to save Cassandra Cain from Black Mask. That is the very quick summary of what the plot of this movie is going to be. So, yeah, see what they do with it. I know Toby's a huge Cassandra Cain fan, so I want to see costumes. I want to see people in them. I kind of want to. I questioned a few of the casting. I'm not big on casting decisions. I don't know who anyone is till they're in a movie that I watch. But I don't. The shots are just these very.
He's too busy on Twitter commenting on.
Oh, of course,
the real Donald Trump.
The still shots are. There's no masks. There's no costumes. There's no. I mean, Harley's the only one in any sort of getup. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, can't wait.
Yeah.
It will probably be like a DC version of, I don't mean content-wise, something like Ant-Man, meaning...
Lighter.
Like a lighter movie and a smaller kind of box office.
But still dark.
But like Cassandra Cain, I mean, come on. She's a killer.
That you only know that comics version. You don't know what she's going to... Well, I just mean I don't see it being a blockbuster hit.
Yeah, well...
More like a mid-size hit.
Yeah, and
like Glass?
Well, I think DC needs more of those. They need less $250 million budget movies. They need more $90 million, $100 million, which you can actually do stuff with and make money.
They need like solid films to carry things through.
And you can crank them out a lot faster.
Yeah.
Again, Joker, I think, is like $70 million or $60 million. That's a very low budget movie.
And that's out later this year.
Well, when you just have a bunch of guys running around, it's a lot cheaper than, gigantic gods
CG and all
shooting beams out of the sky. That great shot that everyone loves in the movies. The beam straight down. It costs a lot of money to do that. So
beams.
Well, we have if this year
tons of money.
If this year is
lasers.
Pew pew. What is Shazam is a little bigger.
Yep.
Joker's lower budget. Wonder Woman's bigger budget.
Yep.
Harley and Birds of Prey will be, I assume, much lower budget than Wonder Woman 2. I don't think it'll be quite as big. Yeah.
Aquaman 2 will be big budget.
Aquaman 2 will probably be very big. But then Green Lantern would be obviously a bigger budget movie. But you have, a Nightwing movie or Batgirl. They can be smaller movies. And I think that's smart for them in the long term. We'll talk about Young Justice maybe. End of the podcast, I could talk about Young Justice a little bit. Maybe do a bunch of questions.
Let's just forget it and skip it.
Well, I don't have a ton to say because we're at the mid-season. No, I'm going to wait till after because of spoilers.
I want to say it now.
Big news last week, comic-wise.
Can you flip that picture up and just leave it up for a little bit?
Comic-wise was DC's internal restructuring as part of Warner Brothers' overall restructuring with some layoffs happening at
Friday,
DC.
Right?
Was it Friday? Thursday? No, I think it was Thursday. And there is rumor of more, but we don't know.
Oh, God.
This isn't like all the thought was Dan Didio and Jim Lee were getting moved around or taken out, and that is not the case, as I didn't expect it to be. They did lose a couple guys. Let me see here. I had the list here. The vice president of sales of the trade marketing, John Cunningham, consumer marketing, Eddie Scannell, Senior Vice President of Art, Mark Chiarello, who I know a lot of people were sad to see him go, because he's not only just an art director, he's an art artist. He's a really good artist. I think this is it's tough to see if this is a DC thing or if this is just a Warner Brothers thing, because Warner Brothers is restructuring like everything.
Well, they're folding DC Collectibles into the Warner Brothers toy department.
Yeah, right. So DC Collectibles is going over
Things
to Warner Brothers
folded,
proper.
They're just trimming down.
Yeah. Bob Harris is now he's editor-in-chief, but he will oversee all of editorial. Let's see. Sales has become Hank Canals. Oh, Toby's back. For sales, marketing, promotion, for publishing support.
He forgot his phone.
Oh. Goodbye.
How did you even
leave
for that
Did he take your comics, too?
No, I left those.
Where are they?
You'll find them.
Fucking Jesus. So I think after Diane Nelson stepped down and John's moved over, and all the DC guys moved to the West Coast, obviously this is, we're now a number of years into the West Coast DC, but still shakeups.
Mm-hmm.
According to the
tighten the ship up.
I want to read briefly here from the
Are you going to read the memo?
I read briefly from them, just one part of it. Yeah. One part of it. It says, DC is going back to its roots of delivering epic stories with our world-class characters, stories, and brands. Being a premier house of storytelling will never go out of style, and we intend to ultimately super-serve our existing fans while providing new, compelling content that engages and excites even more fans around the globe. Rest assured, the direct market will remain at the heart of our business and will continue to be one of our greatest strengths. Now, a lot of retailers are reading this as, compelling new content for more fans around the globe means more comics at Walmart and Target and new content pulling out from the direct market. Because we talked about DC coming into April, their publishing is among the lowest it's ever been. They're a very small number of books being published. Smallest in I think, a very long time. Because a lot of stuff has ended.
So, on that note, I'm seeing what's up with the DC Special Superman number 5 that everybody that came out at Walmart.
I don't know.
Because I saw like 5 of them up on Facebook pages and on eBay for like $20. I don't get it.
It's the Superman one?
Yeah.
Or you just like the Walmart?
Yeah. I don't understand.
Is that maybe where they first introduced
Jesse Hex? That's Batman.
Was it the one where Lois Lane gets killed a ton?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's probably it.
I didn't get it because I can't find it.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't buy any of those. I'm assuming this is the one. Yeah, Tom King's story in the Superman one was that there was a scene where Superman's visualizing all the ways Lois could be getting killed while he's off doing whatever Superman's doing, and people, I guess, took offense to that, or they thought it was like
sweet,
gratuitous and in poor taste. I mean, it's
not like Batcock.
If I was Superman, I'd probably be pretty worried about all the bad shit my villains would do to Lois if they ever found out. I mean, I didn't see the pages in question, so I have no idea. I'll wait till we get the trade or whatever. So,
have they even talked about that yet?
No, but I mean, we're so far out. We're only at issue like 5 of these, and they're all 12-part stories.
So those have been delayed.
Yeah, it's such a mess. I mean, I guess they're selling them, but I can't imagine these things will last because they swapped out the Teen Titans and Justice League book already for Flash and Wonder Woman books. They have that Target, the Primal Age, which just looks like the fucking worst. It's
DC. Hello. How dare you say
they're
that?
ripping off He-Man. It's just like a He-Man ripoff for DC characters. It looks terrible. And there's like a toy line that's exclusive to Target.
9 out of 10.
Of course. I mean, 10 out of 10 is DC.
Yeah.
But
But
a,
it's only a 9.
low 10 out of 10, okay?
Yeah. All right.
Slightly,
10 minus.
No.
slightly better than Suicide Squad.
Unlike other people, I can actually tell you when something is bad or looks bad from DC. It happens.
Who are those
Often
other people
enough.
who can't?
Well, let's just say our marvelous friends up in the north has trouble differentiating good from the company he likes. So that's all I'll say about that. Hey, remember when Bryce was gonna be on this podcast remotely? Remember when Bryce was gonna give me his end of year best of stuff? Those are good hopes.
How'd that list turn out?
Beautiful. He gave me his top 400 Marvel comics of 2018.
So
that's all I got.
most everything they published.
When
It's just a matter of ordering
when it becomes
them.
less cold where he is, I'm sure he'll get around to it. But right now, it's just too cold there.
that polar snap.
Yeah.
Too cold to leave his home office and fire up the mic.
No,
Yeah.
you can't do it. It's cold down there. Maybe it's in a basement.
The internet's
you know
slow
how
because of the
basements are.
cold, man.
Oh, right.
You wouldn't know how basements are. You're a California guy.
DC restructuring.
That restructuring story is kind of hard to comment on beyond the retailer speculation because the language in that memo is so
It's so
boilerplate. We're going to concentrate on our characters and our stories. So as opposed to what you've been doing.
So
Which is just throwing shit on a wall,
Yeah, no, it
watching
is.
it roll down and catching
it's-
it in troughs.
It's super generic.
I'm just hopeful that DC Collectibles still is something solid from them, and that we
Well,
get like a couple of statues that need to be coming out.
The problem with DC Collectibles is that it was having a ton of
Delays,
quality control
yeah.
issues.
Well,
A
that
ton-
Batman Harley. Hyena one, that one was
Every
a
line of
joke.
figures, tons of statues. They were for years. They were having quality control product issues on their products when they made them themselves. So this is probably a better thing in the long run. The fact that they will have a more a cohesive group of people
Hopefully.
working on all Warner Brother products, and so I don't think that'll affect that line at all.
Well, I just hope the people at Warner Brothers understand what they should be putting out.
I mean, again, it's like a lot of the same people.
Look, they put out enough Harley Quinn stuff as it is.
I'm actually
Brock.
not. No, the two things I'm going to mention are not Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn's skirt so I can try it on at home.
No,
and
but it
the
is a
Harley
dress.
Quinn makeup kit because I like to put on makeup sometimes when nobody's watching.
I want a Joelle Jones Catwoman in her wedding dress CoverGirl statue, and I want a Big Barda and Mr. Miracle a couple statue, whatever fucking pose they decide. I don't give a shit.
DC Collectibles did not have the same kind of release line that DC Direct did. DC Direct was like, this is for the fans, and we're going to just put out every random character. DC Collectibles has been a little bit more, and here's the new Batman thing for the month, right? Yeah. So I would love to see Warner Brothers extend that and go back to more what DC Collectibles were, especially if it's aimed... Direct is.
Yeah.
Especially if it's aimed just at the comic stores. Yeah. But, this comes up to the point of our conversation about what's the deal with Black Label going forward. Yeah. Are we looking at a much more casual...
That shirt I got finally, because the shirt's finally shipped for some reason, actually has Black Label on it.
Yeah. Well, that's all graffiti. I mean, those were figured out a long time ago. I just don't think Black Label is going to continue.
The Hub canceled my shirts.
Hub canceled a lot of shirts.
Jerks.
So you think Black Label's done?
I think it's done.
So all of those rebranded things, like those where they retroactively branded all these things Black Label,
I think
just for shits and giggles, and then we just forget it ever
Mr. Miracle's
happened.
getting it.
I think they'll come out, or maybe they won't even have it on there, and then when the new version comes out, it just won't even have it on there anymore.
So it'll all be like a, did that really happen, or we all just did we?
Yeah, it's like All Star. It's just like, nah, we did one thing and then we're done. So
okay.
I mean,
Mr. Miracle's
Way to give it the college try.
Could be totally wrong. But the concern that I have with all of this is, is DC trying to position their products to be more casual / all ages friendly, which is nothing wrong with having that as a separate line, as a secondary outreach. I just don't want them to cut down to 25 books for the direct market and 25 books for Walmart, right? I want 100. I want 70 books for the direct
you want
market.
62. What was the number he said last week?
Oh yeah, what was it? It was like
68 or that's how many slots you
32.
have on the wall.
Yeah.
Like, stick to your number, buddy.
Yeah.
Don't
84,
just throw out
84.
100.
84, because I can do 21. 3, 7, 14, 21. It's 84. 84 books.
Total, not
Total.
from each publisher.
No, 84 from DC.
84.
That'd be
from
perfect.
DC.
Three full shelves.
So would you mind setting aside miniseries and specials and things like that if Batman was the ongoing Batman book was an all ages new reader, every standalone stories, every issue is somebody's first issue, any point's a good jumping on point, and Detective Comics was what Batman is now? Would you mind sacrificing one of those two, or would you want a third Batman title?
If DC would be smart to just put a third Batman title in there.
Like 7th Batman title, right?
Well, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
But then take that other Batman title and not make all these little shooty spin-offs and just put those stories in the other Batman title. I don't understand why you would need
Gotham Tales.
Gotham Tales, Black and White. Just put it in its thing. Just throw in a couple up. There you go.
I mean, there is just no evidence that anthologies and things like that succeed in America. I obviously don't know the sales history of these DC Walmart deals, but they're not selling what Batman's selling to the direct market, right?
No.
There are always going to be spin-offs and specials and extra stuff. It's just extra ways to pad the market. It's unique stories. There's not 2 Batman books a month anymore. That's never going to be the case. I have no problem with the Marvel, what is it? The Marvel, what is it? The
Marvel
IDW.
Rising?
No, the IDW stuff. The Marvel, whatever it's called.
Adventures or action.
Action, yeah. Super action or whatever. I don't mind an all ages Batman title. I'd kill for an all ages Batman title, but at the not in replace of Batman or Detective.
okay. So add in a third month.
Yeah, sure.
And I mean, I don't even, not even saying it as an anthology. It could be like the Batman Adventures, the Mike
Right.
Parobeck used to draw. Like you could have a
animated
set
stuff.
creative team, but it would just, the whole idea would be maybe you have a 2-issue story, but everything else is just one. So nobody has to go, what's a good jumping on point? Because the whole idea is any issue picked up by any kid anywhere, Walmart, 7-Eleven, comic store, they can jump right in and get it.
But then this is the endless problem with the kids' books is that in a single issue format, it's just never going to sell anything and to be competitive with the traditional books because you have a large fan base that wants the connected stories of the ongoing books and the history of those characters and the history of those titles. I think DC is smart to do their line of original graphic novels for a young adult or all ages
Zoom
books.
and Ink.
Yeah, I think that's going to be successful.
Well, I think that those are great places for those types of titles to.
But they're not in any continuity. It's its own
other
thing.
Like I read the preview for the Harley one that's coming out, and I really enjoyed what I read of it. And that one's for which one, the 13+ one is what? Is it Ink?
I can't remember which one's which. Yeah.
But again, it's like you said, the single issue market is not where you're going to get younger readers. It's more in the digest or the small graphic novel, like something that Scholastic would carry, or
and that's what those books are.
And the thing is if they want to carry, if they want to volumize them, whatever. But if Scholastic's carrying volume 1. And kids are enjoying it, and they're like, they're telling their parents they like it, and they're like, oh, well, we can go down to the comic store, and they have 2, 3, 4, and 5, and whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's a different market. And again, I don't need this stuff to replace. I want it to be additive to the overall market. If you drop DC down and you cut, these books are not going to sell the same number as your traditional books. They're going to sell in different ways. To DC, they may sell the same or more, but it's going to hurt the comic industry. So by saying, the direct market's there, they're super supportive of the direct market, this kind of flies in the face of that a little bit. There is sort of a bottom amount that I think these books from Marvel and DC just that we become used to carrying.
Mm.
And when they go too overboard, it's too much. But when they cut back too much, I'm not selling more Batman because you've cut 20 other titles. That's just not how it works.
You're selling the same amount of Batman.
Yeah.
And just maybe somebody's picking up a miniseries that you put out, or they're just not picking up a book, or they're picking up an independent book.
Well, a lot of creators or a lot of retailers feel like, if there's just less stuff, people will buy more of what's on the shelf, and that is not how it works. They're going to go, oh, cool, my bill's only $8 this week instead of 16, and they walk away with $8 in their pocket.
There's not. If there's 100 books,
it's
I'm
too
not
much.
going to buy. That's
too much.
We talked about this last week. There has to be a happy medium.
Right. And I think my fear is DC's.
That's why I stopped collecting baseball cards.
Oh yeah.
In the early 90s.
My fear is DC is pulling too far the other way. A little course correction. We'll see. Whereas Marvel course corrected down, and now they've expanded way back up, right? And I'm selling a ton of Amazing Spider-Man and Avengers, and none of the books that are garbage, but I would sell the same amount.
You are too selling West Coast Avengers.
Yeah, I saw a handful, but I would have sold the same amount of.
Don't lie to the public about not selling anything.
I sold 10 copies of West Coast Avengers.
You said you didn't sell any.
I didn't say that.
You said you didn't sell anything that's garbage.
I said I don't sell a lot of those books, and I didn't put that in the list. I didn't put that in the list.
You've already put that on the list. You put that on the list before it even came out.
Yeah, that's true. Oh man, Marvel Boy's in the book this week. My sweet Marvel Boy. Why does everyone ruin you past Grant Morrison? Grant Morrison makes Marvel Boy so good that every other book he's in is just the fucking worst. So bad.
Hey, Unbeatable Squirrel Girl hit 40.
Yeah. Plus it's original mini.
Fuck.
It's a fun title.
I'm just amazed it hit a number over 20.
The kids are buying it. There's like 7 of them.
No,
How many
it's
of them do you sell?
it didn't get canceled.
How many of them do you sell?
6.
See?
I sell the trade. Sell a couple copies of the trades.
See?
Too. Yeah. It's money. Nope.
Don't sell. You don't
Pure
say
profit,
you don't
baby.
sells nothing.
I don't sell nothing.
You said, I don't
There
sell
is
any
not
of those
a
crap Marvel
There
books.
is not a current Marvel or DC book that I sell 0 copies of. There was for a while.
Because you don't order them.
Incorrect. I sell 0 copies of Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. So 1 Marvel book. There used to be
I can't defend that.
There used to be a number of Marvel books I sold 0 copies of.
Like what? Give me an example.
Like at the very end,
Slapstick?
we stopped ordering like that
Mosaic?
slapstick,
Okay.
mosaic.
Okay.
Remember a couple years ago when they did like they were just coming out like the woodworks.
He refused to stock the one that I was like, I might be interested in reading that. He's like,
no. What
you
was
remember-
it?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Fool Killer?
Fool Killer, yeah.
Was it? I was just like, no,
Yep.
0. I will not take the risk.
You wouldn't
on
even
this.
order the trade for
0.
me.
Pick it up in a dollar bin somewhere for the whole trade. But no, that's just not the case. No, even the lowest selling Marvel books sell at least a couple copies, right? So,
So you're like, put more out.
No,
But-
it's Marvel's getting to the point where it's too much.
no, Marvel's fine.
He always sells two.
Marvel's fine. They're a little miniseries crazy right now, but that comes and goes. Marvel is okay right now. It's DC. I'm a little concerned. They need to start putting out more content.
DC's just got to keep pumping out the Wonder Twins.
Even just putting out as much as DC. Well, I'm really excited for Wonder Twins.
And is the Marvel family going to come out in some kind of comic book?
There's just them book issue
No,
twos
in
already
addition to that.
out. I would fucking kill for a Marvel family book.
Right.
That'd be amazing.
Little
10 out of 10.
Well,
10
and we
out of
have
10 out of 10. Written by
have-
Cy Spurrier.
we have
Chuck Dixon.
oh, he'll never work for DC again. We have
Mark Millar.
what is it? The ones that are still coming out. Why am I blanking on the name
what?
of them? We just said it. We just said one of them. Wonder Twins.
Wonder Twins,
Because
Young
Naomi
Justice.
already just came out. Wonder Twins.
Young Justice.
Well, no, Young Justice and Naomi
what
already
needs to
came
come out?
No.
Young Justice
What
was
is
good.
still to come out
Yeah,
is Wonder Twins and Dial H. We know we're getting a Legion book. We know we're getting a JSA book. Those are not. It just
And Suicide Squad's coming back.
by the end of this year, Suicide Squad will be back. Green Arrow
Real
will be
Suicide
back.
Squad or just the phony one
it's
with
supposed to
Harley?
be Rucka, right?
I mean, the word was Rucka and
You gonna give me some cold Boomerang? That crew,
I remember who the artist was. No. It was
Captain B.
It was Brian Azzarello and
Oh, Azzarello.
I don't remember who the artist was. Yes.
Bronze Tiger.
Green Arrow just ended. It will be back. Suicide
Rick
Squad
Flag?
just ended. It will be back. But it's going to be
Green Arrow hasn't ended yet. It's
well,
got,
one issue left.
yeah, I think
right?
it's got one or
Yeah,
two.
But it's
Flag.
going to be summer, right? I mean, it's going to
Yeah.
be some post. I could see post Doomsday Clock,
Killer Croc.
not New 52, not Rebirth, but now we're going to 10 books over the course of 3 months. We're going to launch all these new characters or all these classic characters back into new titles, and that'll take us out to the end of the year post Doomsday Clock. Because losing Doomsday Clock is going to be a huge cut in there. Cut of the.
Well, that'll still be going next year.
You shut up.
Hey, 2 years for 12 issues? I'd buy that for
By the way, not to divert us into a comic
away.
book topic, but when they relaunched the Legion,
Yeah,
which you could say maybe this year.
I would hope.
Okay.
I would hope Legion and JSA are this year.
All right.
That's my hope.
So let's say they. Okay, so I'm going to have a double question for you guys. Starting JSA new title number 1, World War II, Earth 2, or Earth 1 modern day?
I mean, I think John's.
Not. I don't mean predict. I say your pick.
Oh no, modern day. I mean, I think John's pre-New 52 JSA was about as perfect of a run you could have with those characters, where it's the old guys teaching the new kids. It's sort of before Superman
passing the
and
torch.
younger than the newest character. It's like the extreme ends of DC history, and you bring in a lot of classic villains that way, and you sort of deal with a lot of characters that you wouldn't have seen otherwise. I mean, if they want to do a JSA miniseries or whatever in the 40s, awesome. But I don't think that's what they do.
Either way, I don't care.
All right, Lane.
I don't know.
Legion, though,
Legion. What do you want?
both. I want
I don't even know what both means.
I want a current day
He wants
Legion book
cross timeline,
as well as a future
But I mean,
Legion book.
what team do you
some
want?
messed up
He wants a
timelines.
Superboy in the Legion.
See,
What Superboy do you want?
New 52
You don't bring it up.
Do you want a Clark Kent Superboy?
New
Or
52
do you
Legion
want-
had so much potential.
Yeah, it did.
Because you had the classic team in the future, and you kind of had like the all new, all different Legion kind of, that sort
the
of like
Legion Lost
all
book.
the kind of the scruffy
It was good
upstarts.
for about 7 issues.
It was good for exactly 0 issues.
What, Legion Lost?
It just never. And they were in the present day, right? And I like that idea. We'll have the two teams, kind of a little more classic in the future, classic. The kind of scruffy guys in the now doing some other mission. I think it's a fantastic idea. It just wasn't the right. They just didn't do it
twice
right.
a month.
No, it was 2 different books.
Why don't you just do it one book twice a month with a recap page at the beginning telling you what you missed?
Or you could do it like with Greg Rucka when he did Wonder Woman with 2 different rotating story arcs.
Exactly. You
I'd
go
be
one story, the next story. Give us a freaking recap page because it was a month ago. And you're retarded. Sorry, no offense, everybody.
I'd be 100% down with that.
We're slightly
To
slow.
Brock.
I just want Legion back.
Yeah.
You just want your bouncing boy.
Well, one of my comics blind spots is the JSA Jeff Johns stuff.
Oh, you owe it to yourself.
Well, I picked it all up on that Comixology
Oh, good.
insane sale at the
Good.
holidays. So
Nice.
yeah.
So now you just need
Have
to
you been reading
fire
it,
up
or is
your-
No,
it just
not yet.
sitting- Yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Well, because I bought about 20 graphic novels at that sale, and so you just got to.
Did you get
There's a giant stack of them
did
sitting
you
in
get
my
Stars and
Kindle.
Stripes too?
No,
Was it on there?
I didn't.
Hi-
I think that was on there, but I didn't get that.
Highly recommend it. It ties in with Justice
Okay.
Society.
I haven't read that one, don't worry.
It's really good.
And I haven't read all of JSA either, so you're not alone.
I just have the regular trades.
That's so good.
Hawk to the paper, hawk to the floppies.
Oh, of JSA.
Yeah.
Wait till you get to the Hawkman arc. It's like issue 25 or whatever.
Are you saying wait as in grit my teeth, or
No,
it's good?
no, it's the best.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the best. There was big surprise. The entire Jeff Johns run is amazing. After he leaves, it's okay. But did you get to the very last arc where Green Arrow or Green Lantern?
Is a lantern?
He's a lantern.
It's fucking
You
the
mean like
worst.
Twin Peaks with David Bowie as the teapot?
You're
Like
not
that?
too wrong. You're not too
Okay.
off. Yeah, they're like, he breaks his back, and they're like, we're going to give you a new costume that will help you move, and you look like a lantern now because you're Green Lantern, and it's
the worst.
It is so bad.
Bad.
It's so so
Every
bad.
time one of those issues, like I find one to do back issues, and I say, "Hey Ryan, check this out." Oh, fucking
it's
A.
so terrible.
Hey, by the way, to put a button on a conversation from last week about Perez,
Yeah.
you had referenced Perez in Infinite Crisis,
Yeah.
and I remembered him as doing some covers and some. I know he did Legion of Three Worlds miniseries, but I went back and reread Infinite Crisis this week.
He does some art in there. I forgot.
He does the stuff with the Flashes and SBP.
Yeah.
And he does the two Supermans versus Superboy and that stuff. And he does the crazy when Alex Luthor, spoilers for Infinite Crisis, but anyway, when Alex Luthor is reaching to kind of pluck these different Earths, there's this huge, insane 2-page spread of all these little Earths, that this super fine detail that Perez did on all of these. So yeah, it's always a pleasant surprise. You just turn the page and it's like 3 pages of Perez. And it wasn't jarring because that story is so all over the place in locations and different characters. That,
Well, and the other artist they had on it kind
Scott
of
Jimenez
fell
did some of it.
fell into that
Yeah.
style. So
yeah, but even so, like, okay, this is the Flash story. It looks like this. And now we're jumping to the Dick Grayson. It looks like this. And and it still holds up. It's really good.
Yeah.
Shock.
Yeah.
shocking DC.
Jeff
title,
Johns,
holding
10
up
out of
good.
10.
Shocker.
Oh, the Doomsday Clock that was on FOC that comes out, I think it's 2 weeks. It's the 2 covers. I'm like, could there be 2 better covers in the series? The one is just the Soul Legion flight ring floating in
Oh,
space.
yeah. Okay, I remember seeing that one.
And the other cover
Doesn't
is
it have blood on it?
I think there's like baby blood on the
Like,
front or
yeah.
something like that. And then the other cover is Dr. Manhattan just like Thanosing the like all the members of the Justice League. And they're all just like wisping away.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Their costumes are like falling.
I saw some image, and you tell me, is this a cover? It's All-Star number 3 with the Justice Society meeting,
Yeah.
but Dr. Manhattan standing there with them.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's a great.
It's a lot.
Well, they
of
have the boy reading the comic one, right?
That's
that
one.
one.
That's
Yeah,
the one.
that-
Yeah, it's a boy sitting down reading the comic.
I love that cover.
That's 2 issues from now.
Yeah,
So December.
I can't. Yeah, I can't remember which one. No, I think the next one is the Legion one. I can't remember if those are flip flop, but I'm pretty sure that's the one. Yeah, but I'm very excited to see where they go with Doomsday Clock.
Doomsday
Oh,
Clock's
so
been
good.
really good. Like
Just wish we didn't have to wait so long.
I
between
don't
every-
even care. Like
I
it's
do.
just been so good.
It sucks.
Well, it does definitely affect the flow of the story.
It
I mean,
does.
it's super choppy. Like this issue's
Whatever,
2 months after
whatever.
this issue's.
You're going to
12
read
weeks.
Them, you read them all haphazard. You're going to be like, oh, and then you're going to read the last one. You're going to be like, this is amazing. I want to trade, and you're going to get impatient and then just read all of them single issue again, and then you'll buy the trade when it comes out, and you'll read that too.
Nope.
All I said was the delays affect the flow
whatever.
of the story.
If
I said it was my number 1 DC comic on that when we did those countdowns.
if DC releases a soft cover first,
I will
they
fucking kill.
like John's buddy,
Yeah.
Bubby.
No.
Call me hardcover first.
That's
Come
the
on.
new memo coming, dear
Soft cover first.
dear employees. We're going to a strictly all soft cover program for the collected editions.
No oversized hardcovers
Nope,
ever
we're
again.
done. We're getting back to our core characters, and
Yeah.
Dude, do you know how many people like it whenever like Tom King goes, oh, buy my trade, blah, and I go, when do we get in the hardcover? And everyone's all like.
Yeah, they've really the Mr. Miracle book coming in. I mean, I ordered a shitload of them, but I'm going to order a shitload once the hardcover comes
Oh, yeah.
out.
well, Scott, the Omnibros are not going to stand for much more of this.
We're going to do a bunch of questions, and then I'm going to talk about Young Justice at the end. Stefano, he has not asked a question in a while. He has a bunch. I'm going to go through Stefano's
Wait,
questions.
what about Norman?
Norman? He's got questions on
I
here,
know. I
think.
saw.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Stefano says, does or would the shop ever considering offering a CGC grading submission club
No.
for those who'd like to have books
Next
graded?
question.
Now-
No.
We have an account with CGC, so people ask. We do not send stuff to CGC as part of the store. There's nothing that I don't know. Scott's giving me this look. There's nothing that the store can do that's different than what you can do as a customer.
Truth.
It's exactly the same.
Truth.
We don't get a deal. We don't get any
No deal.
It's like it's not no different. So stores send stuff out to CGC. To me, I think that's a risk and a huge I don't say waste of time, but
I ain't got time to pack that shit.
I ain't got no time for that. That's basically the start and the end of it. Send stuff out to CGC. It's super easy. Fill out the form, throw it in the mail.
I did it once.
Send it off. Yeah, I've sent stuff off a bunch. But
I was at Image Expo when you sent me that one year.
yeah.
And I got a walking, or I don't remember even what it was. I got it signed. I was like, okay, cool. And they were right there. I was like, I'll try this out and see how it does. I mean, the process is fine. But
Yeah. CGC, from what I've heard, is CGC, DCBS, CBCS. These guys are so overwhelmed. It's like they're like 6 months out. They added the pressing service where you can get your comics professionally pressed by them, and it's apparently like people are sending stuff off like August of last year, and they still don't have it back. It's just terrible. So that speculator market, man, and that CGC market is
There's so many people out there.
crazy right now.
Next question from Stefan.
If you were to get a blank cover, like if you were to get, if you have, let me try that one more time.
Is this how he worded it?
If you were to get a blank cover done, meaning if you were to have someone draw on a blank cover, a blank comic book cover, what would you? What book? What would you have it be done of? And what's your level of detail? To me, there is only one answer to this question.
Fuck.
Tom King drawing on the blank cover. That is the only it. Tom King is the only one allowed to draw on this anymore. It's amazing. And he has to write, I'm sorry, because that's what he does.
It is good.
He's doing a cover for Heroes in Crisis.
I know.
I can't wait. Have you seen Tom King's
draw?
I know. That's the point.
That's the joke. It's amazing. I love his crypto too. He's the best crypto.
What is it?
It's just like it's like 4 sticks and like a little circle. Like I think it's Mitch.
He doesn't even put a triangle.
I think it was like Mitch Gerrard's was like he's like it's staggering like how on model that character is every time he draws it. It's always exactly the same. Yeah.
No, but seriously,
Tom King. Like Tom King is my answer.
Kevin,
that is
go.
yeah.
Well, you're
I
next.
I have to think about this.
Scott. What are you shaking your head no for?
I'm making a hop right now.
Oh, God damn it. I guess for me, I would probably get to... I mean, I have a blank Harley, so I'd probably just have Amanda Connor do a personalized one.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't really matter. She could pick...
For Harley.
Yeah, I mean, she could pick the outfit. I mean, cause she did a great job designing so many different
All the
outfits
different costumes.
for Harley during her run. Because I think she had like 100 or something.
That many?
Yeah, it was a lot. But I think, I mean, it was just, I think it's the best way to do blank covers is get a character or team you like, get an artist that you like, or a writer, and just have them personalize the book for you. Because, I mean, that's really what it's all about.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, these things cost money too, right? I mean, it's not like it's not free. You still got to pay for this stuff, usually. So, Kevin, you can get a sketch.
I don't have any blank covers.
That's all right. I got a stack of them over there.
Oh, so just
you can pick any book,
off the shelf right now.
Yeah, you can say, I want a Legion that's coming. Legion #1 blank cover.
It'll have one,
and I'll get it.
Okay, well then I will take I will. Wow, this is a whose question is this? Still Stefano? This is a tough one. Brock, you can pick the comic for me, but on the blank cover, I'm going to take, since we just talked about him, Perez, Adam Strange.
Nice.
This is Doctor Strange book.
Adam Strange.
Doctor Strange.
Oh, Adam Strange. Wait, Adam Strange is coming to a book, isn't he?
I mean, he's been in a bunch of the Superman
I don't
stuff.
want the one with the hoodie from Krypton.
No,
hey, that was not that bad.
I didn't say it's that bad. I want the classic Finn helmet.
No, but isn't Adam Strange going to be in a story arc coming up soon?
Well, he's always issuing a Green Lantern. Did you see that cover?
Oh, yeah.
The Liam Sharp cover for Green Lantern?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's pretty great.
Meanwhile,
Scott, nothing?
I would want a blank. Do I want a writer? Is it a writer?
you choose.
You choose. Artist is...
Currently, I'm just kind of geeked out. I honestly want a Silver Surfer cover, and I want a Ron Lim.
Yeah.
Just because it's not
Invaders.
so far out there.
Defenders.
But it's,
Yeah.
I don't know. It just kind of brings me back to a happy time. Go
I've
Ron
sorted
Lim.
through your happy time.
Yeah. No, you did. That just sounds wrong.
Next question.
Not sort through
Quick,
my
you got to pull us out of this nosedive.
No, it's nosediving.
Next
fast.
question.
Stefano says
Yes, Stefano.
Jeff Lemire is off
trifecta.
Terrifics as of the next issue.
Is he on the new one? I just got solicited by the Hub?
He's been doing them all. Is this it? Is this it for
The Terrifics.
for Terrifics? Is this it for
DC New Age of Heroes.
New Age of Heroes? Yeah, that's over.
Yep.
Is that it? Is that going to be the end?
Yeah, it'll be the end. I mean, because there's not really anything that they can really do with it.
Yeah.
I mean, like all of those New Age of Heroes books really just screamed minis.
Yeah.
You know?
None of them needed to be ongoing, and
Yeah.
it's too bad. Terrifics is a fun book too, but it just.
I read Damage and I'm like, Weapon H. I like Weapon H and I go, Damage?
Yeah, it just was not meant to be. Not meant to be. Stefano asked one last question. I told you had a bunch. This may be.
Quad.
Is there a resource you'd recommend for newbie collectors to research what key issues exist for any particular character or comic title? Scott, you on that Key Collector app?
I am on the Key Collector app. Can you repeat the question?
I've just started. Oh, no.
Sorry,
I
Stefano.
went down one too much.
He wants to know, is there a resource for finding the key issues of certain titles for newbie collectors?
No.
Okay.
That I know of.
But you're on the Key Collecting app, which is exactly the answer to.
I just search.
question.
Like, what do you? The easiest way, Stefano, to do it is there's no definitive source. You can go on either
You can Google it or
Google. You just
Comic Vine.
You just go onto eBay, first appearance of,
Yeah.
and then search. That's what I do. That's honestly the easiest way for me to find something of somebody that I really like, whether it's Speedball's first appearance or whether it's
Amazing Spider-Man Annual 22.
Rich Rider Nova.
Nova #1.
Whether it's who's the garbage truck guy from 2099, Ravage. Yeah,
I believe Ravage 2099's first appearance is Ravage 2099 #1.
Yeah, you could go find that. All that good stuff.
Yeah.
I had a Ravage 299.
We had a.
It's good.
We all had a Ravage 2099
Arsenal first appearance.
Yeah, just pulled that out. Beefy Arsenal.
New Teen Titans,
Yeah.
what, 99?
99, that's it. Yeah. Yep, no. It's a Key Collector app. That's what it's called.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time you can just Google, like, first appearance of, and it will bring up something. But, like, eBay's a great way to do it.
I'm on a comic resource.
Facebook group.
No. On I have an app on my phone.
Is it the fucking Key Collector app that I've been said like 9 times?
It might be. Maybe.
Good radio.
Maybe. Look, maybe I'm not paying attention.
Tyler
Maybe
Willits
I am.
says,
Hi, Tyler.
I've just
Did you get your
started.
She-Hulk statue yet?
I've just started reading the John Byrne FF omnibuses for the first time and really enjoying
Kevin's
it.
head banging over
Kevin,
here like he's
that's
at a
his
metal,
jam.
like he's like Shoreline at a metal
like-
concert.
Yeah,
That's like-
Tyler.
That's like
Is that his question?
no.
Oh.
He says, "Are there any legendary runs or must-read stories that you haven't actually gotten around to reading yet?"
I already confessed the John's JSA for me.
Yeah.
I have the Walt
Simonson
Thor omnibus still sealed.
The Omni Bros would be proud of you because the Omni Bros like their things sealed. I think
Most of my stuff is sealed.
keeps it safe
I mean, there's lots.
because they read it in all 4 of their other formats before
I
they get
have-
to the Omnibus.
I have not read FF 1 through 101. Like, I have not read the entire.
Are you serious?
Not like all of them. No. No. There's issues.
Oh,
I've
but
read,
you've read some.
I've read most
Oh,
of
okay.
them. Yeah,
I get
but
it.
like
I
not.
thought you meant you hadn't.
I have.
No. Like, I have not read.
I've read 1 through 100.
So 101's his last issue, right?
Yeah.
No. Oh, the original run.
Yeah, the
in
original.
floppy.
Kirby's
Yeah.
last issue. Yeah.
No.
1 through 100. Stopped there.
I mean, there are
It
definitely
got
big
pretty
chunks.
chunky after that.
There's big chunks of DC Silver Age stuff I
Those
haven't read.
Neil Adam covers in the late 90s. So good.
Trying to think. I've read most of the early like Spider-Man. I've read like all the Claremont X-Men, Claremont and Byrne X-Men. I might have read all that. I've read the Simonson Thor. I've read Miller Daredevil.
I don't know what he's counting as classic runs. I have not read like all the
like
the
it's like-
Siegel and Schuster Superman,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
the
yeah.
quote unquote Bob Kane.
I would think
Batman.
but I mean, to me, those aren't legendary runs. Action Comics #1, Detective 27. I would, Amazing Fantasy 15, right? Like that would be the things I would count. Plus the big runs, right? I mean, you're talking 101 issues of Kirby and Lee FF, right? That is a big run, or the Miller Frank Miller Daredevil, right? All that stuff.
John Byrne, Fantastic Four.
Yeah, let's go like 90s and earlier. Like I wouldn't count even like 2000s. That's not.
Okay.
I don't think that's quite what he's asking. Because I mean, there's a lot of people, even like myself and Brock. We're younger, a bit younger than you guys. There's tons of stuff from the 80s that I haven't read.
Yeah, I've read a handful of Claremont X-Men, but I haven't read it all.
And
a lot of the Fantastic Four
Claremont got a little wobbly in there. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, when you write for 20 years or 15 years or whatever,
like I haven't
you're
read
gonna
the Fantastic
wobble
Four,
from time
the Byrne
to time.
Fantastic Four stuff.
Yeah.
I've read a handful of Fantastic Four issues in there, but
well, a lot of that stuff's collected now for not the first time, but really the best time to read it is now. Because the only way to have read the Byrne FF prior to the last 10 years was to buy the actual issues. There was no way to read that stuff.
no, I did read the Byrne action issues with Big Barda and Mr. Miracle.
I know you did.
By the way, back to Tyler's premise, there's a story in that first Byrne FF omnibus that I think would be, if you're ever going to do it, the perfect Fantastic Four movie.
Which issue?
Perfect. I think it's issue.
Or what's the story?
Well, the story is Terror in a Tiny Town.
I think I remember that
It's a
one.
Doctor Doom story. It's a double-sized issue. And that, to me, if you're just going to just adapt that, film that exactly as it is, and you're good to go, you've got a perfect movie for newbies and longtime fans. But anyway, yes,
So
great omnibus.
Did you write the script for it yet?
No,
The treatment?
no. That would be called fan fiction.
I'm just waiting for the biggest kept secret in Hollywood is to be that the Fantastic Four is showing up at the end of the Avengers.
It's just an elastic hand coming down.
An invisible girl pushes somebody out of the way. You see this rock fist and a stretchy hand and a big ball of flame.
There were people like, what's this? Hugh Jackman's working out again. It's because he's going to be Wolverine in Avengers 4. He's filming the cameo now. It's like, I don't know.
That's not even
guys.
exciting. Bringing a brand new character, that would be.
Yeah.
Gambit.
So we answered the have you read?
Yeah.
Not read legendary runs.
Yeah.
I
I think you've read most of those big.
Well, but I'm not 100% on the Mark Waid Flash.
That's a good one.
I'm not 100% on the Johns Flash or Titans.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
Are you on that key collector app?
It's CLZ.
Well, that's just organizing.
Yeah, but it tells you if it's a first appearance.
Yeah.
You can get that on tons of websites.
John Grosjean says, if they flashpoint away Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill in the DCEU,
Then I'll hate their universe even more.
how do you guys want to see that played out? Do you want to see Flashpoint?
I want to see a Bugs Bunny meow. That's all, folks, and that's it, because that's the clown job it would be. Straight up, if they flashpoint it and just erase them, clown job.
Just new actors, don't have to say anything.
And just,
no
Yeah.
reason.
yeah, no flashpoint, just new people.
What if they Teen Titan Goat it?
That I don't know what that means.
Yeah, what does that mean?
They go back in time on their scooters and stuff.
Yeah, no.
And then fix it, and then it miraculously somehow genetically becomes a different
Yeah.
person.
No, I don't think you need to do anything like that. I think you just have new actors. And again, Marvel's already done it, right? I mean, with Hulk, but
They did it with Hulk and War Machine.
War Machine, yeah.
But Henry
that's it.
Cavill is not the problem.
No.
Henry Cavill's fine.
But if Henry Cavill doesn't want to do it
Oh,
anymore.
yeah, if he doesn't want to do it, but I'm saying I've read a lot of things online where people, you got to just reboot it. No, you don't have to reboot it.
Yeah.
You don't
Just
have to
write
reboot
it better.
Yeah.
Just make a better movie with the same dude who frickin' looks like Superman from birth.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, it's
Doesn't
kind
need
of
to reboot.
like the idea of
Ben
the
Affleck.
Flashpoint to reboot it. I know we're all fans at this table of Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah.
Fair to
Fair.
say.
Yeah,
Okay,
of course.
The art's amazing, obviously. That's one solution. a giant mega cosmic crossover to quote unquote fix your problems.
Yeah.
The other solution is you could just stop mentioning Earth 2 and Earth 3 and Earth X and just tell Earth 1 stories. And when people write in, because this is back in the letter column days, where's Earth 2? Why isn't this referenced? What? Just don't print those letters and just move on. Just make a Superman movie with Henry Cavill. You don't have to acknowledge anything else. You don't need Flashpoint. You don't need a crossover.
Yeah.
Just make a good movie.
Yeah. Norman wants to know, when did the practice of bagging and boarding comics start? Were bags and boards even available back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s? I wonder how many people how people stored their books. I don't, not 50s and 60s, at least not in this standardized format.
Bags and boards came around, I think, in the late 70s. Like after comic book stores started to come onto the scene.
I think like early 80s.
Where's Dick Spawn when you need him?
Yeah. People were doing it. People were storing them in something equivalent, but the standard
they had the Mylars, didn't they? Like,
they've had them for a while, but yeah, the kind of standard practice.
Oh, you know what they used to store
was
them in?
80s.
The binders.
Yeah,
they have the little 3-ring hole punch,
The black
and then just slide
construction
it in.
paper in between.
Yeah. Well, the Mile High collection, there was Mile High Comics. That was stored
They were
was
stacked on top of each other.
stacked on the ground, Florida, chest level, because you have your Action Comics #1 at the very bottom. It's being pressed for 40 years by the weight of all this stuff in a room that was never accessed in 30 years or whatever it was. And so, yeah, if you live in the swamps of Florida, you have to worry about your comics. If you live anywhere else, people are all like, "Oh, I have to take." Oh, get needles or pliers and get triple bag. It's
little gloves and shit.
If you leave your
want that 9.8, son?
Dude, if you leave your stuff,
Got to go to CGC, get my 9.8.
This is the thing: is living in Florida in a very humid, down in the South, very humid environment. Yes, I can understand.
if you live in
something
fucking,
with that. If you live on the the
Northern
coastline,
Alaska or something,
if you live on the
that.
coastline, you're going to have to deal with moisture and
yeah.
salt in the air and all that stuff. If you live up in the north, you got to deal with freezing temperatures and all that stuff. Yes, there is stuff that you have to deal with, but it's not as long as you're aware of where you are. It just put it in a bag and a board and store it where it needs to be stored.
Even if the bag gets old, the bag gets old and it gets yellow and gross.
Well, the old ones do.
They get so nasty.
Oh yeah, they've got that film on them, and then they just feel greasy.
I really wish I had just the handful of old bags and boards that I could just rip off right now to just the sound.
And they're different. I mean, bags from the 80s were the nastiest shit.
Yeah.
They were glue. They would turn into glue when they would just peel apart. It's the worst.
I hate debagging and boarding those collections. It's disgusting.
Ironic, given the cartoon we're watching, but Rabid Varmint right now on Twitter asks, when did you guys realize that Brian Michael Bendis was the greatest writer of our generation? That's a question. I don't necessarily agree, but that's a
I
question.
haven't realized it. I think he's very prolific and he's very good.
He is. Yep.
I think he's. I don't. Think
I had my ups and downs with him, but I'm pretty pro Bendis.
I don't think he's the best writer.
Before he moved to DC, I was pro Bendis. By the way,
This he said with the sourest look on his face. The sourest. Oh, it's true.
you go back a while, I was
true.
pretty anti Bendis, but by the end of Marvel, I was pro Bendis again, and then he moved to DC, and I'm still pro Bendis.
No, I don't think he's the most the best writer of our time. I think he's a very consistent, solid. He has ups and downs.
But
in
he
stories,
comes before King. Was he writing? He and John's paralleled pretty much, right?
Yeah, not too far off. Yeah,
Now John's, I feel like, has done higher highs.
yeah.
Not really lower lows, but that's it. I mean, who else has been around that time? Obviously, Tom King is newer.
Yep. Well, you still have a big chunk of the guys writing comics have still been in it for years. I mean, Morrison's been in it since the early 80s. A lot of these guys are not new to the field. Bendis has been around for 20 years, but that's in mainstream comics,
good.
Marvel and DC.
Other guys I like Kurt Busiek.
Yeah, he's been around.
I like
even longer.
I mean, Robert Kirkman's very good.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it doesn't have to be. He's not even one of the big two.
Not anymore, yeah.
Garth Ennis.
Peaked with Preacher.
He's kind of stepped away a little bit, but he's still
I
doing
don't
good
know.
stuff.
Punisher was pretty good. I loved his Punisher run.
Preacher.
Preacher was very. I mean, Preacher was his story though
That's the peak.
to tell.
That's the peak.
So, Jason Aaron.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think that again, it's just what their work ethic is. I think falls into it a lot.
Can they crank it out?
Can they pump out? Can they pump out? How many titles is he
out.
doing for DC now?
I'm going to skip around here a little bit. This is like 9 or 10 titles. It's ridiculous. Captain Marvel, the one and only, wants to know, what are your thoughts on the
Is this your
Gerard...
sock account?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the Gerard Jones, Chuck... artist name, 90s run of the Justice... Wojtkowicz? I'll think that's close. Running the Justice League. How was it received at the time? I have no clue how it was received at the time. Coming after the Gift of Matter stuff, I have to assume it was not received well. Probably. That's
just a blank. I
have them.
I do.
Yeah.
Or did.
This is the
But
stuff.
I don't
Justice League
recall
International?
anything
about them.
I didn't recall anything about them special. And then I don't remember anything special about Justice League until Prometheus came.
Yeah, because he was doing it in between.
And that's that big gap between Justice League International and Justice League with DeMatteis.
Yeah.
No, he was.
Giffen
Him and
DeMatteis.
Keith Giffen were the ones doing international.
Right, International.
Yeah.
But this came after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Justice League was just not as
Yeah,
wasn't rolling as well as I thought. International was better.
I've seen some back issues. I've put them away. They are not really memorable.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. I mean, it's not a. I think you're snug in between two. Here's two legendary runs: Grant Morrison's Justice League, and Giffen and DeMatteis' Justice League, right? And you're snug in between the two of them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I'm looking
Because I'm looking at the covers right
and
now.
nothing
for this.
is popping
No,
up. Nothing.
I don't even think I've ever read these.
Yeah.
So there's your gap.
They're standard. Well,
That would have been your '90s DC trash. That was not.
yeah,
good.
they're just standard comics that were not the specialness that the other ends of the books were.
I'm trying to think of what story arc happened in that.
Then, like,
it was like
he was
Mr.
writing it during the Death of Superman.
Wasn't
right?
it like
That
Mr.
was
Knight
the Death
or
of Superman
something?
issue.
The
should
Mr.
be in there.
Negative?
Well,
or
that's
something?
why wasn't the Justice League issue so hard to get and really expensive for a while when it crossed over the Death of
Because
Superman?
people had.
Nobody was getting
was reading it,
Justice
yeah.
League.
Isn't that one?
Booster and Blue Beetle.
Did you do
and-
Extreme Justice too? Booster Gold, the Blue Beetle got armor. So bad. Now, if Tom King put Booster Gold, the Blue Beetle in armor, it would be amazing.
And if he drew it himself,
How about if he made his costume look like a lantern?
I'll do.
just hit us with some more. We got
Yeah.
Lightning round.
Yeah, we have to.
No, don't say lightning,
Lightning
round, 'cause
round.
it never happens.
So for Charlie, he's not here, but we can answer. I recently picked up my first real omnibus, Simonson's Orion run. That's an interesting run.
Yeah.
And loved it. He goes, I am not interested, though, in slapping down $100 a pop for a single omnibus. What are 3 omnibus that you should absolutely track down and pick up if you can find a good deal on? Now, to me, look, this is the difficulty with buying omnibuy.
Omnibuy.
But
I'm gonna buy Omnibuy.
you buy 3 trades, it's $100.
Yeah.
You buy an omnibus, it's $100. You're just buying it once here, right? This is or 4 trades maybe. This is the amount of content you're getting in them is staggering.
The price difference is minuscule when it's like.
I think it's generally cheaper.
In some case it is.
In a
in
nicer
some cases
format.
It is. Yeah.
Yep. I think generally if you're buying an omnibus, some of the DC ones that are $150, they're a little hard. They're a little high.
Yeah.
But man, like that Fourth World omnibus is gigantic.
Yeah, it is.
That'll kill some serious bugs if you need it.
Well, like
Or an intruder.
Gotham Central, that omnibus is just boom.
It's not
you have
$100
it.
either.
It's 75, right?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Scott, how much is that Gotham Central?
See, it depends for the questioner what he likes or she likes. I didn't hear
Yeah.
the name of the person.
Yeah, it's $100.
Okay.
The Gotham Central's $100.
Okay, that's
Like
But I
one
think
of
that
my
was
favorite
Spider-Man.
omnibuses is the Stan Lee, Steve Ditko Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah.
But it's gold. It's just gold from cover to cover.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I also really like the one we referenced earlier, the Byrne Fantastic Four omnibus. Great.
He says, what 3 omnibuses should you actually pick up? How about Jeff Johns' Green Lantern volumes 1, 2, and 3? Right? There's your 3. I mean, the problem is these things are so massive now
Yeah.
that they take huge runs and they're in multiple volumes. So
Yeah.
single volumes, maybe. I think the Kirby one is the Fourth World is an absolute must buy.
But wouldn't you rather get the individual volumes? It
No.
just seems impossible to read that thing.
No,
it's
because
so
it's
big.
no, because it's in order. That's why.
Oh, right. I should say, as a PSA, regarding that Orion omnibus,
Yeah.
Simonson himself, so this is not me trying to rain on anyone's parade, Simonson himself has told people, posted, pick it up as the trades. They've put out volume 1 so far.
Okay.
He said, pick it up as the trades instead of the omnibus, because what was going on was in the series of Orion, they'd have the main story and then they'd have a guest artist do a short story.
Right.
And they're meant to kind of reflect each other. But in the omnibus, they stacked all those short stories as a big chunk at the very back.
Oh, really?
And in the trade, they put them back in the matched with the story. So Simonson has told people who are interested in reading that, buy the trade.
So you know some of that restructuring at DC.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I think it depends. But like standalone, I think just series that are really good that are like one shot, like Gotham Central.
Sandman, is that? Do they have an omnibus of that?
3 of them.
Okay, I have the absolutes of that. So
Yeah,
I'm not,
like I have the Gotham City Sirens. Like just
That's a good
boom one.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy, the Abnett and Lanning is just
one
one.
volume.
Like
Yep.
it's yeah. I think
Animal Man just got released in an omnibus not too long ago.
Batman's
The entire
Grant
Grant
Morrison.
run.
That's
but that's not complete though.
I know. It's like 2 more or 1 more.
Yeah, the Animal Man, the Invisibles one is huge, isn't it?
Humongous, yeah.
I can't believe I still haven't gotten the Harley ones.
Infinite Crisis is gigantic as
Okay.
well. Yeah. Can't go wrong with, this is the first volume of Amazing Spider-Man. There's like the Spider-Man Venom one that's out right now. If you're really into Venom, a lot of people like that because it's all his early appearances.
It's all that Todd McFarlane stuff, and
I also really love. I'm just thinking of omnibuses that I love that are on the shelf. Is the Marvel Monsters? There's 2 volumes
yeah.
of it. It's all the old Ditko, Kirby, pre-superhero Marvel stuff. Great.
we just looked at last week was it House of Mystery or House of Secrets?
They're interchangeable, but yes,
Yeah,
I,
I mean,
think
they-
it was.
they
I
kind
think it
of
was
give-
Secrets. Yeah.
And the art in those is usually fairly good, but that's usually about the covers.
Yeah.
And I just think they did a disservice to the cover of that one. It was not as bold as some of the other ones.
I would also recommend, though I don't own it, because the only one you have here is a cover I will not pay money for, is the Marvel's Conan omnibus.
Oh.
Yes.
That content is really good. One of those 2 covers is not good.
Marvel's weird. Their standard covers for omnibuses is new art. Their variant cover is reprints of classic covers.
Yeah.
I don't quite get that. It should be like the opposite, right? I don't really understand why they do that. All right, last question before we move on.
That's not even a lightning round.
I
Young
know.
Justice briefly. That's fine.
Well,
You can record your Young Justice talk later as a Patreon
This is
exclusive.
from Fortress of Comictude. It's going to be short. And this is directly referencing something we were actually just talking about. How much of an effect do you guys believe the delays of Doomsday Clock had on the other comics that were supposed to be impacted by the ending of Doomsday Clock? I mean, 100%.
Doomsday Clock's not over?
I think we would be looking at a very different DC universe right now had Doomsday Clock stuck to its regular schedule.
Like, whenever Doomsday Clock comes out, I'm like, oh my gosh, sweet. It's not over? I thought it finished.
Well, the thing is
Every time.
what people fail to forget. So we got Rebirth
People forget that it's still going.
in 2015, 2016,
That's when it
Rebirth,
started.
2016.
2016.
That's when Doomsday Clock started.
So what
2016.
people forget is that we still haven't even gotten the 3 Jokers yet.
Yeah. Nope.
Like,
It's coming.
where the fuck?
Black Label. Maybe.
Well, Doomsday Clock, have they said why is it so?
Delayed?
It's like fits and starts. It's on time, then it's not on time. Then it's
Well, no, I mean it's been completely off the schedule since like issue 3,
Right.
And it's because of the writing and the artist. There's
Well,
no way.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not for other reasons. It's just because it's going to take Gary Frank 6 to 7 weeks to do the art for one issue. That's just he's not going to do it.
I mean, he's doing 9 panels.
Yeah.
It's 30 pages. It's much longer too. So, it was never going to be on time.
Then he's got to put a cover.
But
on
it's a
that thing?
bi-monthly release schedule, isn't it?
Yeah, and now it's slipping even further.
I just feel like they should have been able to keep a bi-monthly schedule.
So it was monthly at first, and then they went bi-monthly. And they said, well, our hope is we'll get enough ahead that the last couple issues will switch back to monthly. So far, it has now slipped further than bi-monthly, as with the most recent issue, it's 2 weeks late.
It's quarterly.
It's not quarterly. It's now on a
Bi-yearly.
10-week schedule.
We're gonna get issue 12 of March of 2020.
We are still scheduled for July of 2019.
Guys, look, it's
but
a really good story. We'll just put it out the last one in a trade because everybody forgot.
Mark Miller says nobody cares if books are late because they'll have the graphic novel to remember forever. So that's what he said about Civil War. So it's going to be true for Doomsday Clock too.
Doomsday Clock is on a worse schedule than Civil War.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Just Civil War got real. Okay. Hey.
It's going longer.
It is going longer because it's a much longer series, but the delays on Civil War were way worse.
Yeah,
There's
the delays on Civil War
there was like,
directly impacted books. Like
There's like 7 issues, and it lasted about a year, a year and 2 months, something like that.
It was the last couple issues were really late.
Right,
I believe
that's
the champion in this category, if you want to use the word champion, is Camelot 3000.
Oh yeah.
Which I think it was a year between the penultimate and the final issue.
Well, Planetary 20 was a 27. It was like 6 years between issues.
How many
5
issues
years
of
between
Camelot
issues?
were there?
12. I think it was a 12
Because I
issue.
have like 5.
No, I think it was between 11 and 12. I think was a year. Also, Watchmen number 12 was super late. So let me just give some props here to the 12-issue series Justice. Speaking of good omnibuses, the people call it the Alex Ross series, but it's him painting over. So Doug Braithwaite drew it, and then Ross painted instead of inked it.
Yeah.
Bi-monthly over 2 years, every issue on time. Bravo, gentlemen.
Painting.
With a painted cover and painted interior.
That takes a lot of time.
It does.
Alex Ross is a boss. Local boy.
is he?
Yeah.
Was that the last? Was that the end of the lightning round?
There's
Yeah,
3
that's it,
others,
that's it,
but he's
that's
just
it.
skipping them and making them feel bad. Sorry, Casey, Ulysses, and Tyler.
Oh, I can understand why he's skipping Casey.
Oh, whoa. Jesus Christ. No, there's a couple more questions here. Just right along. I want to talk about Young Justice for a few minutes, so if you don't want to hear anything, you can jump ahead. We just the mid-season break for Young Justice on the DC streaming app with Doomsday Clock, Doom Patrol coming out very shortly.
February
They finished
15th?
Doomsday
13th,
Clock on
15th?
the app before they finished it in the comic books.
Yeah.
You can read it there.
Doom
in
Patrol's
Young
coming out.
Justice.
It's a couple weeks. Are you gonna watch Doom Patrol, Kevin? Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's on the app?
So good. Yeah.
I have to talk to Marshall.
Okay. You can get a free week of the app if you just wait till the series is
It's not free, though. It never is free. You sell your soul for these things that say they're free for X amount of time.
And you just cancel
and
it.
then
I ordered it. I watched Titans and I canceled it.
It's like telling a telemarketer you'll take something for free, and then they call you every day for the rest of your life.
Kevin just shuts his mic off.
Because he knows it's true. He's like, well, yeah, that's true. I do get a lot of telemarketing calls.
You got to turn your mic back on to rebuttal.
He doesn't want a rebuttal. Look at him. He's given up.
So when Young Justice was on the air 175 years ago, I liked the first
Talk about
season.
delays.
I liked the first season enough. The second season had some issues with, but overall, I thought it was a fun show. Young Justice as time went on, people were like, "This is the ultimate DC animated show," and I was like, "No, but okay."
How many seasons were there before it came back?
2.
Okay, so I think I've seen both.
Yeah. One
That's
season was
scary
about the
when it's
Reach,
not that
but Blue Beetle villains. The second one was like Darkseid kind of shows up at the very end of season 2.
Maybe I missed that.
Fell asleep.
Fun show. It definitely is. It takes a lot of liberties. It takes the character names, and then it kind of does its own thing with them, which a lot of animated series are going to do, right? But I liked Young Justice quite a bit, so I was excited to see it come back. So I watched all the episodes of this show for the new season, season 3. And there was like 12 episodes so far. It's okay. I like it enough that I'll keep watching it, obviously, but I find the show needlessly confusing. It goes off in some weird tangents that just doesn't make a lot of sense.
Are you going to recount what you told me before we recorded about Zatara?
Some of it, yeah.
For a layman, is it the comedy equivalent of Arrested Development coming back for one season in Netflix?
I thought that season was brilliant.
But all the characters were exactly the opposite of who they were in the original series.
Oh, they weren't?
Are you serious?
What are you
Go
talking
back
about?
and watch it again.
In what way?
Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
you could tell it's filmed different because of the way they had to add the characters in, but I don't. It's to me,
they're totally different.
I don't see
didn't
that at all.
love.
Well, they aged.
No, I didn't love how.
What's her face looks really weird. She had a bunch of weird surgery or something.
Portia de Rossi.
Yeah, she looked odd, but that's it. Everyone else
Tobias
was
is good as always.
yeah, they were all perfect.
Weren't we supposed to get another season of that?
Yeah.
It's happening someday. You know what? I understand that they're just going to kind of drop you in, and it's just not really going to be a big recap. I would have preferred a recap episode or at least some attempt.
Well, can you watch the previous seasons on the DC streaming app?
I ain't got time for that.
Ain't got no time for that. That's like our motto this week.
So I wasn't sure exactly what I was expecting, but it just everything seemed a little off. I was telling Kevin earlier, talk about needlessly confusing. You have Zatanna in the show, who her dad, Zatara, is dead, or dead, but being controlled, basically dead and being controlled by
It's like Weekend at Bernie's.
Okay, Brock. Okay, I mercilessly teased Brock because he was not funny, and
You like
for
Weekend at
whatever
Bernie's?
reason, I'll give you 1 point back.
Sweet.
2. I'll
being
give you
controlled by Naboo and the Helmet of Fate.
What
I
the
thought-
what the hell are they doing with that?
So Zatara
2
is Fate. Being controlled by Naboo. I think it's Naboo. Naboo's the planet on Star Wars, right?
Naboo.
And Naboo,
Where everyone's favorite characters from.
Naboo in this is for some reason Vandal Savage's son. Like, why is any of this the way it is in the show? You have Zatanna's father, Zatara. That's a thing.
Zatara was never Dr. Fate. Yes,
And-
Naboo is always in charge of Dr. Fate,
Right,
regardless of
but
who it
Zatara's
is.
not Dr. Fate.
And why is
Naboo is not Vandal Savage's kid. They have
that could happen?
the light.
Right.
They have the Reach and the Light, and they're these two separate villainous groups.
But that gets into a
And the-
Vandal Savage question.
the
Is he a
light-
god living?
The Light is the secret society of supervillains. They just call themselves the Light. Why? They're just called the Light.
Are they led by Dr. Light?
No, and it's
Blinded by the light.
and there's an episode. It's like episode 9 or 10 where
Dance with the picture.
you basically have 8 or 9 mostly unconnected episodes. And then
Is it
Nightwing,
confusing to you, Ryan?
and then Nightwing.
I could tweet out something for you.
That's an even worse Donald Trump impression than before.
way
Nightwing
better.
spends half an episode
That's
explaining
more
to
my
the
great
audience
papa.
why all these previously unconnected scenes are somehow connected. And I get no sense of this when I'm watching the show. I'm like, this is just like a random comedy episode, but somehow it's connected to all this other stuff. There's multiple Roy Harper clones, and they don't distinguish them from each other. And you're like, I have no idea who's who in this show. It's a bunch of. Even Toby admitted the animation is not great, which I'm fine with. But when you have a ton of characters out of costume that all look identical, how do you tell Wally and Roy and all these characters from each other? I seriously didn't know who some of these characters were that are fucking. Roy Harper. I don't know who this character is on the show. I'm like, is that Roy? They call him Will or something?
They just needed to give him a scar.
It's really weird. So there's a bunch of
Well, they couldn't really give him a red hat.
there's a bunch of just off stuff on this show.
Well, okay, so Ryan is sitting there going,
Oh,
your badger, blah, 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 blah. So yesterday,
Well,
Ryan's
hold on. One more thing, and then we'll get to that.
Okay.
One more thing. Granny Goodness is on this show, right?
Granny?
Granny Goodness, right?
Oh.
And she's on Earth, kind of like
Passing
trying
out the pie?
to corrupt humanity, although people don't realize it, obviously, right? And she's on TV with Glorious Gottfried, right? From New Gods. Except, there are, he's going against her. And again, it's like, what? But Glorious Gottfried's whole thing is that he's supposed to help Apocalypse, take over Earth.
but not Granny Goodness.
But it is. Everything is just off from the way it normally is in the comics, and there's not an explanation for it. I just don't.
But that was Invasion. Invasion was not.
I just
that
don't
great.
get it. No, the show does redeem itself in probably the most twisted thing I've seen in the entire show. Oh, it gets it's pretty PG for most of it, and there's a whole scene with Lobo, who's played by John DiMaggio too, which it's like Bender Lobo. It's great. I think it's super crazy, gory and bloody violent, which was really unexpected. But there is a scene that really redeems itself. I played it for Brock.
Yeah, you dragged me. You said, "Have you seen this?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And then he put it on.
Now Brock is a fan of Teen Titans Go, like every rational human being is. So
Dance
I showed
for your
him.
bees, Kevin. Dance for your bees.
I showed him Doom Patrol Go. So Beast Boy is being controlled by, ready for this, Kevin? Beast Boy is being controlled by Granny Goodness's VR goggle machine. All right, she got a series called the Good Goggles, which are VR headsets that test you for the
This sounds freaking terrible.
Test you for the,
This sounds so bad.
It pricks him in the head and tests him for the metagene, and if it tests you positive for the metagene, it then forces you while you're wearing these goggles to go to these certain metagene concentration camps where the new gods are going to
the worst report
steal these
of
kids.
something good ever.
Steal these kids, right?
If it
So
was any
Beast
good.
Boy is having this hallucination inside this
Never gonna
VR
watch
headset.
this.
Where now Beast Boy on this show is voiced by the same actor that plays Beast Boy on Teen Titans Go. He suddenly finds himself inside the Teen Titans Go TV show, except he's not in Teen Titans Go. He's on Doom Patrol Go. DOOMPATROL, Doom Patrol Go, let's die. Okay, this is their slogan. This is their song.
DIE.
Yeah. If you know the Teen Titans Go song,
And
just replace it with
isn't
Doom
he
Patrol.
the Teen Titans Go version of Beast Boy in the
He's
VR
right,
thing?
exactly. So in the VR machine, he's the Teen Titans Go version of Beast Boy.
I'm getting a headache.
All the members of Doom Patrol are voiced by the members of the Teen Titans Go animated series, including Cyborg, who plays a Robot Man on this, who plays 40 other characters in the show, except for Cyborg on on Young Justice. He literally plays Cyborg's dad and Cyborg's friend, but not Cyborg. So it's confusing as fucking hell. And on the Doom Patrol Go part of it, he's talking to Rita Farr, who is his sort of Elastigirl. It's his sort of adopted mom, kind of surrogate mom. And the whole thing they're talking about, they're like, sorry your mom died, Gar. We're the Doom Patrol, and we're going to go get killed in a mission now as well. So you've lost your mom, and you've also lost me. And
Your
it's in this
second mom.
it's just in this super little cartoony, goofy animated thing, and Beast Boy is just fucking crying. It is the darkest shit I've ever seen in my life. It is incredible. It is so weird that the rest of the show I'm like, whatever. I don't get it. This is kind of weird. And this Doom Patrol Go show part is amazing. Whoever did that, just you get a round
They
of
changed
applause.
negative man to negative woman.
Yeah. And just
So
play
that,
Raven.
so that Raven could voice it.
Yeah, it was just fine. And Robin plays the Chief, which is super
Chief,
random. Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah, it is.
You have
It
to
is.
watch it. It's
Your
worth
lead
it.
up? No.
No, the rest of the show is
you
not
don't need
that
to watch
good.
Young Justice. Just watch the Doom Patrol Go.
Yeah. It's
disturbing.
It's really dark.
I have no idea what I watched when I watched it.
Yeah,
But I enjoyed it for
I'll
some
play it
reason.
after. Maybe I'll play the Doom Patrol theme song on the outro here. So it is great. It is really good. The rest of the show, it's fine, whatever. But the Doom Patrol Go, I need that to be a thing. It's so good.
Well, at least Kevin's going to be getting a Doom Patrol show.
Yep.
2 weeks. Oh man, so excited. When's the roundup, Kevin? We want to hear your thoughts on Teen Titans. On Titans, I mean, season 1.
That's a Toby That's a Toby scheduling issue.
right,
I'm
all
ready
right.
to go. I have
Before or after the end of Doomsday Clock?
before.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's an easy one. I would take that. I would take the under on that. No problem.
Titan season 2
Just
will be
under a
before the
year.
end of Doomsday Clock. No, I have a page and a half of notes about Titans. So I'm
man.
locked and loaded for Toby and Charlie. We're going to do a bonus episode at some point.
We're ready for it.
But-
TBD.
But did you enjoy their interpretation of the Doom Patrol? Because you are a huge fan of the
I
Doom
did
Patrol.
enjoy the Doom Patrol. Yes.
We are ready for it.
I think the image for this episode, if you're going to play that as the outro, I think the image should be a Tom King crypto drawing.
I love them. So good. All right. We are going to go ahead and wrap up. Before we go, we have to thank our good friends on Patreon. And again, don't forget to
You had a random pick, Kevin?
pre-order
Kevin,
Neon
quickly,
Future.
Get it in there while Ryan's talking.
Don't forget to pre-order your
What's your
copy of
random pick,
Neon
Kev?
Future.
Yeah, Neon Future.
Julian Titus has a Derms Without Pants podcast at pixelbit.com.
Don't do it.
Jody Lawson is canon the Triad Comics Anthology at triadcomicstudios.com.
And then you do that?
Yep.
Fucking garbage.
My random pick is Invaders #1, written by Chip Zdarsky.
Yeah.
It was good.
Sam Che.
Yeah.
Joe Duff. Andrew Nelson Mendez at the Recovery on Anime Junkie podcast. Darfox 8 over at Manga Machinations. Page Turners, that's a comic book podcast at pageturnerpodcast.libsyn.com. Tyler Willits at Thursday Thunderdome, that's at Thursday T-Dome on Twitter, as well as
My
Thursday
random pick is
Thunderdome.
Fantastic Four.
.com. Now, before I finish this, I do have to mention
Really like
Craig-
Wedding and how they did it.
Craig Anderson. Craig Anderson has been a longtime supporter of ours.
Yeah, Craig Anderson.
He has
He finally said something?
what he wants to do. He has his own company he's been working on. This is not comic or nerdy at all. It's the least nerdy thing ever.
It's Craig, though.
I know.
Sit.
I'm here,
Wait.
and my mic is on. Craig, I turned this mic back on when I heard your name being mentioned. Go.
That's
but-
love.
I'm going to kind of paraphrase some of the bits. He has a new company called P. Craig Anderson and Associates that he's been working on for a while. This is not nerdy at all. However, if you work in a field where you may need some sort of
Cleaning
let's
crew.
say coaching for moving
dinner
on,
reservation.
moving up in your career, maybe a little life coaching.
Is this like a 9 to 5 thing?
If you were a newer emerging leader in your field, you want to help clarify your goals, achieve them faster, and position them for ongoing success. He has a clear path plan, which will identify and prioritize goals, develop a plan to achieve them, and meet regularly to stay on track, make adjustments, and celebrate success. That means alcohol.
So he's a life coach.
Yeah.
I like it, Craig.
He's going to get more info to me pretty soon. He's starting this. If you're in a, look, you work a shitty desk job. You're listening to this podcast. It's the only thing that brings you joy.
Wow.
And you're like,
God, no. Fuck you, Ryan. That's a lot of pressure for
Call
us.
Craig immediately if that is your life
and
situation.
you're like, I
You
need
can DM him.
Craig P. Anderson and Associates to help me move on to the next level so I can make more money so I can buy more comic books from comicsconspiracy.biz in Sunnyvale, California.
Ooh, that segue.
You need to call Craig Anderson, Craig P. Anderson and Associates. They will help you.
That's Indigator.
That's his account on Twitter. You could do that too.
I'm sure he's going to have a new Twitter account with his sweet
Official
life
yeah.
coaching business, which is a good idea.
I do
People
have some
need that.
friends that have their official business social media accounts and then their private personal.
You mean like yourself?
This will
Yeah, right.
no. I'm actually Ethan Van Sciver on Twitter. That's my real handle.
That's your sign.
My new
Yeah.
wallpaper.
What is that? Is that me looking at the picture?
Yes.
Nice.
That's a big nose.
ComicSpiracyPodcast.com is this podcast you'd be listening to. It's at ComicSpiracy.
That brings you so much love and joy.
Yeah. Geekbox.net and iTunes. Please rate and review us on iTunes. It helps people find this podcast. That's what we've been told, so I repeat it. I don't know if it's true. That's just how the internet works.
Just share it. Like, give it to your friends. Put it on a USB drive.
YouTube.com/comicsconspiracy is where you can find all our YouTube episodes. It's just this podcast on YouTube. It's basically the same thing.
Yeah, you suck at doing anything else.
I do. The Comic Conspiracy is that a picture of pictures? I don't know what this is.
I will post it on the Facebook group.
And then I'll post mine.
The Comic Conspiracy at geekbox.net is where you can send us some long-form emails if you would like. Patreon.com/Comic Conspiracy. If you're an aspiring life coach and you want to get your word out, it's a hot new place, Comic Conspiracy Podcast, to advertise on.
I think Craig just assumed that all of us listening are like, man, we need to get things together.
We all need life
Let's call
coaches,
Craig
really. We're all
Anderson.
terrible
That's
people.
good. That is good targeted marketing.
It
Craig.
is,
If
it
you're
is.
looking for people who need some guidance in life,
Are you a fucking mess? You were listening to a comic book podcast, so you probably are a fucking mess.
Jesus, we're losing listeners.
Please.
that's his tagline.
Well, what does that say about the people that make it? It's even worse for us.
Face for radio.
We're sure people are going to
Digital.comicsconspiracy.biz
listen to this.
is where you can buy all your digital comic books, like all of Justice Society of America by Jeff Johns over here.
Now, quick question: if they do the unlimited subscription through us, can they do it through us?
Comixology.
Unlimited?
That's not what it's called, is it?
Yeah.
If you sign up for the very first time through us, yes, we get credit for it.
Nice, because I know they have the Sandman stuff. A lot of the Sandman stuff's on there.
Yeah, DC added recently. Of course, if you like physical comic books, comicsconspiracy.biz or our store here in Sunnyvale, it's a good place to go. Conspirator Brock, that's Brock's blog and video pull list. Unboxing videos, you can go over there. Check out his videos.
I won't have any from this week because I didn't pick up a Harley statue.
Charlie's got the Doctor Who
Box one of the
podcast.
other ones and open it up again.
Wanders in the fourth dimension.
Statue. I got another one.
And my wife Leanne has etsy.com/shop/Leanne Hill Art. That is where she has all her prints. You can also buy them here at Comics Conspiracy if you would like.
They have their own barcodes.
On Twitter, you can find me at Ryan Higgins Ryan. Brock is Brock Sager. Scott is CS Shea. Kevin Sharp is that Kevin Sharp. The store is Comics Con Store. Please give us a follow, a like.
Ryan's new account is also called Raging Moron. Or was that it? Staggering Moron.
At Staggering Moron.
At Staggering Moron.
Geekbox, Comedy Button, Maga Machinations.
Do you usually get that much venom?
I didn't get hardly anything. I don't think I like one or two guys that said they wanted to kill me. Usually it's way less than normal. And the Infinite Binge podcast, or Infinite Binge... Manga Machinations podcast, Infinite Binge on YouTube. You should go check those guys out. Fucking what an episode. Thank you guys. We'll be back next week.